So it is time for Outside. We take a look at life and the outside. Somebody who's had an incredible, interesting career. And so I'll be talking to Rustie Lee, TV personality and chef. And I'm very pleased to say Rustie is here in the studio.
Yes, hello. Gosh, you're very quiet in here. I'm not used to quiet, Nana.
You can make it nice and noisy, Rustie. That laugh, I think I slightly modelled my laugh on you. So
oh, really?
A little bit, yeah.
Fantastic.
Because I've known you from when I was growing up. You were on the screens doing all sorts of things.
Yes.
So talk to me about how you sort of came to be working in the UK and doing so much in television. What happened?
Well, the thing is, I started off, my parents came to England, my father and mother. My father was in the Royal Air Force, and he sent for my mum from the Caribbean. We were left and Granny reared. So that was lovely. I didn't know anything about it. I was just a little tiny. And then we were sent for from Jamaica by my dad and mum. My mum was a clippy on the buses, so she's down to earth. My dad was in the raft, mum was out doing the clippy on the buses. But, you know, it is incredible. And then she stopped working to look after us when we came over with my auntie. And, of course, everything looked strange to me then, looking at brick houses and things, but went to infant school, junior school, and all through the system, went to all-girls school.
Oh, so did I. What was that like for you then? Because you're sort of one of the first generation to be living in this country.
Yes.
Your family being there. I mean, I was one of the first, but my parents came here in the 60s.
Yes.
And I was born in this country. But for you, coming from Jamaica and being in this country, what was your experience like?
My experience was like any other child growing up, because I was just a child growing up in a class. There was probably just me as a black girl in there. But I didn't know I had a colour anyway, because I wasn't treated any different to the other children in the class. And so I've grown up not recognising colour. Colour was never a thing to think, oh, I'm this or that. I only realised that I had a colour towards the very end of my school year, because it was an all-girls school. And it was one girl, she turned up and she said, "You lot come and take all our jobs." And I was shocked.
That's what we're talking about.
I haven't taken anybody's job. I haven't had a job yet. So to me, that was ridiculous. I think I always had a jokey side of me. There's always, I think, a joy for life. As a young person, I had a joy for life and a joy for people. I absolutely love people. So then I went to an all-girls school, which was great. I cried at the end of it because I didn't want to leave school, because I enjoyed school so much. It was just a great experience. Then I went to technical college to do a secretarial course, because everybody had to be a secretary, you see. And I had never even seen a typewriter. And I was put on this. So I went to this technical college in Handsworth Technical College, and I landed up in a classroom, sat on the back with a blank typewriter. So I had no idea what a typewriter looked like. I wanted to be a secretary, because everybody wanted to be a secretary. So I went on this blank typewriter, and the days when they were typing like this, you know, to the music, because you were tick-a-tick-a-tick-a-tick-a-tick, then they'd go ping, and you throw the carriage that way, and then you start typing again. My typing came out as gobbledygooch.
But as long as you look good doing it, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Anyway, we got kicked out of that class, me and another.
You did. I'm not surprised.
It was fun. But so I had joy, and then I left that, and my forte really was I enjoyed singing and cooking, so there was a mixture. So I used to then do singing with my sister. Used to do the clubs and go singing around the clubs. And yes, and so I thought I was going to be a famous singer, to be honest. I used to win singing competitions all over the country, best girl singer and all this sort of stuff. And then my father, we had a bakery, and my father said, "You've got to get a proper job." So because we had a bakery, I went to the College of Food in Birmingham, and I trained as a master baker.
You've got to say that slowly. I understand why you did it that way, Rustie.
that's what I did. So it meant I knew about production bakery and mainly you could become working patisserie. So you're doing cakes and and cake decoration, which I love very much. So lots of cakes and making them and the reasons why things happen. So that was fabulous. Then I decided, after leaving the college, landed up opening the first ever silver service Caribbean restaurant in UK.
Oh, wow.
So it was fabulous. A lovely, lovely restaurant. We had everybody coming to the restaurant. And one of the people who came to the restaurant was someone called Stephanie Silk from Pebble Mill at One. She was the producer.
Pebble Mill, I remember that.
Pebble Mill at One.
I remember that.
I landed up from doing, we were doing, Chris Tarrant was doing the usual weekly show on Central TV. And I used to I went up the Soho Road with him once and he went to Bite a Pepper. And I was going, no. So people recognized me from that. And they kept on inviting me back to do this Central program. So we did that program and then I was invited by Stephanie Silk for Pebble Mill at One. And the lovely, I was on there, I was heavily pregnant at the time. And Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah, Morecambe and Wise.
Eric was on the show and he played me up. That was my first real TV thing. And he played me up all the way through. Rustie, I loved you and all this. And he played me up, but I could handle it because I'd been doing the clubs, singing and going all over. So he apologised to me and sent me a book signed, which was lovely. And from there, it moved on to being invited to go to TVAM.
Gosh.
And TVAM, when I was there, and you know, lovely Anne's here. Anne has it, lovely Anne Diamond, that I was there before Anne.
Just so you know, Anne.
Bless her. And so I did that, and I was doing that with the lovely Chris Tarrant. And then Michael and Mary Parkinson took over, and they were presenting, and they were lovely. They said, Rustie's a star, treat her as one. And that was a lovely thing to say. So I was there for about 8 years and was working doing that. And then I got Game for a Laugh.
I know, you've done so much, Rustie.
Which was incredible with the fabulous Jeremy Beadle. Absolutely amazing.
He was fantastic.
Just a wonderful, down-to-earth, lovely, lovely man and his lovely wife, Sue. And we became really good friends in that. So I did that. So it's just been an amazing...
Was Game for a Laugh the one where they'd sort of say your car would disappear and then somebody would say, is there any chance of a cup of tea, madam? I used to love that. That was so funny. You'd suddenly go, where's my car? They'd move their car and then somebody would say, fancy a cup of tea? And you'd be like, I love that. And they always did that.
That was Jeremy. See, Jeremy planned to have... to get people to a state where they don't know, so angry. And then when he'd turn up, he would, you know, the people would look at him and not quite sure because he would be dressed up in all these different things. And they'd look at him and think, is this real? And then they would get it, and then the relief was phenomenal, you know. So those were fabulous times and lovely things to do and meeting so many people.
And I bet you even did a bit on EastEnders, weren't you, on EastEnders?
I
brief bit there.
I did. So I did acting as well. So I do acting as well.
Yeah,
so I was on EastEnders as, I think, Pearl, Auntie Pearl. Auntie Pearl. From Birmingham, of course. And enjoyed that very much. Yeah. It was tremendous. You know, doing that. I did, I've been in Benidorm as well.
Yeah, you've literally done all the things. Have you done Strictly yet?
No, I went to do Strictly and then it didn't happen. And they thought I did really well and then they said the mix wasn't quite right, but who knows how the mix should be. I know what making a cake, you need to put all the ingredients in. Obviously, it didn't make what they wanted. However, so I've just had the best time, really.
And it does, your joy just emanates from you. It's a wonderful thing. It's infectious. It makes everyone feel great, which is why people love to have you around. Talk to me about what are you doing now then? Because obviously you're doing appearances like this. And
yes.
But what other stuff? Because I know you're very much into your cooking and baking.
Very much into my cooking. I do cookery demonstrations around the country. Just came back from Doncaster the other day, did the Doncaster cooking show. And then I came back and I was on the bus with the Golden Oldies, I think.
On the Jubilee bus?
On the Jubilee bus on the last Sunday, and was privileged to be on the stage to sing God Save the Queen and being on with Cliff Richards and people like that, singing away, and Wayne Sleep, and meeting up with all these lovely people that I haven't seen for ages, you know, lovely Tessa Sanderson and lovely people like that were there. You know, people that you meet along the way, but you don't get to see all the time. And they were all there. It was a magnificent experience. Absolutely unforgettable, fabulous.
And amazing as well. Our queen, isn't she? Fantastic. Yes. 70 years.
She's amazing.
What a fantastic woman, right? What an example.
She's a total example. And what is so great is that my mother was named after the Queen, you see. My mum was named, she's the Eugenie Elizabeth, and she was named after the Queen. So it just resonates really beautifully with me. My mum would have been so proud, you know, that I was on that stage with everybody, you know, singing. It was fantastic, an experience that I'll never forget, ever.
Yeah, and one that we're very grateful to be part of.
Yes, she's been amazing.
There won't be another one like that for some time.
She has been a great mother, great grandma, and she's had to put up with so much. My goodness, you know, we all have our own problems and different things in our lives which is sent to try us, all these things, but she's had her fair share.
Especially in the last few years.
Yes.
God.
And being under the microscope to, you know, we have our problems and at least we can shut the door behind it. But her problems are magnified, and it not just stays in the UK, but it goes worldwide.
Yeah, it's global.
And so she has been amazing.
She really has.
And, you know, hats off and every thanks to her for what she's done. And for the people who say, oh, she hasn't done this, think on. Absolutely, to the business and things that she brings to the country, and God bless her.
God bless the Queen.
Yes.
Well, Rustie, look, it's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Nana.
If people want to sort of catch up with something you're doing, or is there somewhere they can go and find out more about what you're doing?
Well, the thing is, I go on cruises and I do cookery demonstrations on cruises. I was going to the Caribbean for a month. Unfortunately, the first time ever, the ship was turned back.
Oh, God. That's not fair.
And then recently I did another Caribbean cruise on Sky Princess, which was beautiful. And that so magnificent ship. And I believe I'm going to be back on that again. And I'm doing different shows. So I do not only the cooking, but I do singing and entertaining and acting. So you don't know where you might find me.
Well, hopefully we'll find you on this show. You can do a song for us at some point.
Oh, I'd love to be here. I'd love to be here.
Amazing.
Perhaps I'd do a little cooking show or something.
That'd be lovely. Well, it's Healthy Eating Week, actually, next week, so perhaps we can come over to we'll come and do a little film with you there.
That would be lovely.
Rustie, thank you so much for
Nana, it's been a pleasure, and lots of love to you and your audience.
Thank you so much.